So here, how do we like start this topic? Before starting this topic, uh, so we have to first of all just do a very quick revision of the things which we have done earlier, very quickly. So far we have done just three verbs, okay, and those were ser verb, okay, tener verb, and estar. So these were the three verbs which we have done. Okay, today we are going to learn about the regular verbs, and this topic, once it is going to be covered, you will be able to use around 70% of the verb. Okay, when I'm saying 70%, it is not exactly 70, it can be more, it can be less also. But roughly, I'm giving you a figure, means once you will understand this concept, then you will be able to use 70% of the verbs in Spanish. I mean, I don't have to individually talk about each and every verb like I have done here with ser estar and ser tener and estar. Here, it will be like following a particular pattern, and that will help you in using those verbs which will be covered in this 70%. Okay. So the first thing which I have to tell you that when you take any, now the topic here, if you understand this, in Spanish it is written los verbos regulares. So regulares is coming from the word regular. So it is a basically regular verbs. Okay. So so what happens in Spanish if you take any verb in its original form? Okay, in its original form, then it will be ending either with AR or with ER, or it can end with IR. Okay, so these are the three endings which you will find in any verb in Spanish in its original form. I'm again repeating the original form. So what is the original form? This is the original form, ser. Okay, tener. This is the original form, estar. This is going to be your original form. Okay, or original form can also be said as infinitive form. Okay, that also we say. So you will never find any verb in Spanish which will not end with any of these three. Okay, it will obviously it will happen. It will be ending with any of these. Okay, that is for sure. There is no any exception in it. So so when we talk about regular verbs here, which is written here, the topic, it means the verbs will have a particular pattern. I mean, when you are going to use it, it will follow a particular pattern. Okay, a regular pattern it will follow, and that will be there across a particular set of verbs. Okay, so let us see it with example, then more it will be more clear. Unnecessary to talk so much. Let us see with examples. So just a quick revision for all of like whenever you are going to use any verb in Spanish, it will always have six forms. Okay, that is for sure. Again, we have seen for the ser verb, okay, for estar and for tener also we have seen the six forms. Those six forms are decided by these subjects, okay, which are written over here, okay. Yo, tú, él, ella, usted, nosotros, vosotros, ellas, ustedes, and nouns also we put it there. Okay, so according to these subjects, we are changing the form of the verbs. So far, whatever three verbs we have done. So something similar will happen with the verbs, regular verbs also, which we are going to see. I mean, those verbs will also change according to these subjects. Okay, so the thing which I told you earlier is again written over here also, that infinitive forms of Spanish verbs always end with AR, ER, or IR. So there are some examples given here from each category. Okay, so from the AR ending group, this is the verb given in its original form, hablar. The meaning is to speak. Okay, so infinitive form means in English, any infinitive form of the verb is written like this with to and its original form. But in Spanish, there is no need to use to with it. I mean, do not need to translate to. You just write it in this format. Okay, and that's it. Comer is the next verb, which is to eat. Okay, and third one is escribir, so that will be to write. So if you see these three verbs which are written over here, they are ending with AR, ER or IR. And when you use it with different types of subjects, with different personal pronouns, okay, or with nouns, they are going to change. Okay. So some of the verbs are written over here, if you see, starting from hablar and ending with from partir. So when you take any verb in Spanish in its original form, it has two parts in it. Okay. One is the stem part and another is the ending part. Okay. So what is the ending part? The ending part is the one which I told you in the previous slide, the AR, ER and the IR ending. Okay. The AR, ER and the IR. These are the endings, okay, which you will find in any verb. And then whatever is left after that, those endings, that is considered a stem. So when we talk of a regular verb in Spanish, what will you do? What will happen is that the form of the verbs will change. That is going to happen anyway. Okay, that happens for all the verbs. So here also with regular verbs, this is going to happen. I mean, the form of the regular verb will also change according to the subjects. It happened with the verb ser also. It happened with the estar and tener also. Okay, like you remember, if you remember ser verb, it started with soy, then eres, then es, somos, soy, son. Similarly, tener became tango. So the forms were changing. So here also these regular verbs which are written over here, their forms will also change. But how will you do that? Okay, so there is a pattern, there is a regular pattern which is followed, and in that pattern all the changes are happening only in the end part. Okay, I mean these AR and ER will be changed, okay, into some other endings, but this part stem will remain as it is. Okay, so this is the basic thing we have to be very clear about right now. So the same thing is written over here also, a little bit of explanation more. So you want to use verbs in ways other than in infinitive form. Obviously, you cannot use the verb in its infinitive form. I mean, you cannot use it in this form. You have to change the form according to the subject. So to do this, you drop the AR, ER or IR, okay, ending and make changes. As I said, you have to make changes in this part. This one will remain as it is, this part. The stem carries the basic meaning while the ending tells who and when. Okay, that I will show you in the later part. Here, the word is I study Spanish. Okay, so how will you write this sentence in Spanish? It's quite easy. Okay, it is written first of all. What will be I? I is yo. Okay, study in its original form is estudiar. Okay, this is the infinitive form or original form. But when you use it with the subject I, this estudiar will change into estudio. So what has happened? This AR is removed. Okay, and I have added this O. Okay, estudio, and then Spanish is español. Okay, so yo estudio español. So this estudio gives you two things, two information. First, who is the subject? How is it happening? Because this studio form is only and only used with the subject you. So it is sometimes it is quite understood. Since it is the beginning, you should write it, but later on, if you just write Estudio Español, it will be understood that the subject is you. Okay, isn't it? Like I can say soy de la India. It happens with the ser verb also. If I'm just saying soy de la India, it will be understood that I'm talking about myself. Okay, that yo is hidden over here. The same thing is here also. And then the second thing which it is talking about is when, means that is the tense. So in the tense, what are we talking about? We are only and only talking about present tense. Okay, simple present tense. That is what we are going to learn in this semester. We are not going into past or future. So please do not use any of those in Spanish, or when you are asked to translate, do that. Okay. So I have to tell you the rule here. So of all the AR ending verbs. So as I have told that there are three endings, AR, ER and IR. So you will find a number of verbs in Spanish, regular verbs in Spanish, which will be ending with the AR. Okay. So all those AR ending verbs, okay, will follow a particular pattern. Okay. And that pattern will, if you remember, you can make sentences easily. Hmm. So you can apply that pattern to all the AR ending verbs, regular verbs. So if you see here, stem and verb ending, so this is the ending part. So that ending part AR will be changed with these endings now. So why I'm writing like this? Because for different subjects, these are the endings you have to follow. I mean, you remove the ending part AR and then you add these. So if the subject is yo, with the verb, whatever verb you are using AR ending, you at the end of that regular verb, you have to put this O. Okay, similarly with nosotros, vosotros, and this. I will show you the example, it will be more clear. But these are the endings which I have to show you. So O, as, a, amos, ais, and an. Different subjects, it is being followed. So I'm just taking first verb as an example, and then things will be more clear to all of you. Okay. So I have taken this verb hablar. Okay. So I hope you still remember hablar is to speak. Okay, or to talk. Huh? Now, how do we use this verb? As I told you, it's an AR ending verb. You have to make changes in the ending part, which is the AR, and those changes will happen according to the subjects. So here, if the subject is yo, this AR will change into O, isn't it? Like in the last slide I have shown you. Huh? See, last slide, it was O ending, then as, and then a, like that. So here also, similar is happening. I have used O. So yo hablo. Then here, if the subject is tú, it will be tú hablas. If the subject is él, it will be él habla. Like that, with different subjects, you are having a different form of the AR ending. Okay. So if you are asked to make any sentence, like for example, uh, you want to say I speak Spanish. Okay. If you have to say this, then it's quite easy. You just use yo. I speak. You can get it from here. So yo, the verb is hablar. So first form of hablar is hablo, and Spanish is español. Yo hablo español. Okay, similarly, if you want to say we speak Spanish, so it will be nosotros. Okay, subject is nosotros. And what will be the form of hablar? Hablamos. Nosotros hablamos español. Okay, so the structure, basic structure is still being followed here. That is subject, verb, and object. Okay, whatever we follow in English is also followed here. So you can see the all the six forms of hablar. Same thing will happen with other AR ending verb. Okay. So the second verb I have shown you as an example is estudiar. So estudiar also, same thing will happen. The stem part is not changing, as you can see everywhere it is estudi is written, but the end part will change like what has happened in the previous one. So it will be estudio, estudias, estudia, estudiamos, estudiáis, and estudia. Same thing is written here also. And with different subjects, you can use it. Okay. Now, the next verb example here given is enseñar. So this is another AR ending verb. And when you have to use it with different subjects, you can see all the six forms. It starts with enseño, enseñas, enseñan, enseñamos, enseñáis, and enseñan. Okay, so that is how you use it. So if I have to say that I teach Spanish, so I will be using yo, sorry, enseño español. So subject is yo, I mean I, so it will be enseño. Okay, like that you can think and make simple sentences. Next verb example is necessitar. Okay, so necessitar is another AR ending verb, and the one which is underlined AR, that is the end part, and that will change according to the subjects. So here necesitar it changed into necesito, necesitas, necesita, necesitamos, necesitáis, and necesitan. Okay, so you can use it accordingly. I hope all of you are understanding. If there is any problem, you can just ask me then and there. Now from AR ending verb, we are moving on to the second and the third type of verbs. Okay, third type of ending verbs. Like second is ER and the third is IR ending. So if you get those type of ER and IR ending verb, then you have to follow a particular pattern, which will be followed with all the ER ending verb and all the IR ending verbs. Okay, it will be like that only. So here I am just showing you briefly what are the endings we are going to follow. So the good thing which happens here with the ER and IR is that in with these three subjects, first person singular, second person singular, and third person singular, the endings are common for ER and IR. So it is O, S, and A that you will use for both AR and IR. But if it is nosotros and vosotros form, it is going to be a little bit different. So this amos will be used with ER ending verb, and this emos will be used with IR ending verb. Same thing will happen here also with vosotros. So with the ER ending verb, you will use eis. With the IR ending verb, sorry, you will use is. Okay. And again, with the third person plural, it is going to be same for both ER and IR. I think with example, it will be much more clear. So I'm taking this verb comer. Okay, so in this comer verb, same, the end will change, stain will remain as it is. Okay, so the end will be, if you remember what I showed you, or if you want to remember as a trick, what you can do is, if you remember the AR ending verb ending, then ER is not very different from that. I mean, the only thing which is happening is wherever you were putting A in the end part, you change it with the E. Okay, and that's it. You can do the whole conjugation. Okay, so first form is going to be same. I mean, it will be como, what we have used with AR also, como. Then it will be comes, come. Okay, then it will be comemos, comeis, and then come. Ah, this is how we do it. So you can see when we were using AR ending, all these E, okay, which are written here, they were all A. Okay, but here it is all E. So for that means like change, be careful. Okay, so como, comes, come, comemos, comes, and come. Other example I have shown here is bebe, which is to drink. Same thing, the ending will be changing. So bebo, bebes, bebe, bebemos, bebeis, and bebe. Okay, like that we have to do. Now we are moving on to the example of the third one, which is third category, which is the IR ending. So here you have to give a little bit attention. Okay. Since it is an IR ending verb, as I showed you in the slide, 2, 3 slides before, that this form, second person, first person singular, second person singular, third person singular, and third person plural, the IR ending verb conjugation is similar to the ER. Okay, so escribir will become escribo, escribes, escribe, and escribe. Okay, so this is very same, or this is like exactly like the ER conjugation. But the nosotros and vosotros form, this is going to change. So amos becomes emos and eis becomes is. Like that, you have to do this conjugation of escribir. Other example which is given over here is compartir. Okay, so compartir is another IR ending verb. You do it like this. So this one, this one, this one, and this one is following more of an ER conjugation, but emos and is, sorry, emos and is, they are following a different conjugation of IR, not like ER. Okay, so keep that in mind. So here what is written, the verb ending always indicate who is doing the action. They tell who is speaking. Subject pronouns often used for emphasis or clarification. It's not very different what I just said you earlier. Okay, that is what it is written. Yo estudio español. Okay, so this estudio, as I said you earlier, this talks about two things. One is that this is the present tense. Okay, and the other is that it is being used with which person? With first person singular. Okay, with first person singular it is being used. So you can simply write Estudio Español also without you. Okay, that will also be correct. That's not a problem. Okay, but since it is the beginning of this course, you should use yo. Okay, you cannot do this thing. I mean, not using this yo. You cannot do this with third person. Okay, for example, you cannot say estudia español. Why I'm saying this is, yeah, this is understood that this estudia is third person singular conjugation. But under third person singular conjugation, there are several subjects. No? One is L, which is he. Then ella is also coming under third person singular. Then comes usted also. So if you are not writing, people can become very confused. What do you want to refer? So that is why in this third person conjugation, it becomes more like it is becomes a necessity to mention the subject. Okay, so once you mention, things become quite clear. But with first person and second person, it's not so necessary. Okay. So after understanding all this concept, this is how you can summarize the whole concept. Okay. So in the very beginning, I told there are three different types of endings of the verbs in Spanish. Okay, you take any type of verb, so it is in the infinitive form, it will end either with AR, ER or IR. How do we use it? Being AR, ER and IR ending of any regular verb, you change it, you change or you make the changes only in the end part. Okay, so O, as, ha, amos, eyes and han. So these are the endings you have to put for the AR. Same thing will happen with other AR also. With ER also, these are the endings. Okay, and IR, these are the endings. Okay, so you just remember these endings, your life will be easy. I mean, you don't have to remember each and every verb conjugation. Okay, so if you remember the endings, if I'm giving you any AR ending verb, you can just remove that AR and then put these endings. So your work will be very less. Okay, that is how everybody do. Okay, everybody does. That is how everybody learns Spanish also. Okay, so they remember this thing and then they apply it to other verbs also. So here, there is one more thing I have to tell you quickly. We did the three verbs already in the very beginning, ser, tener and estar. So are we following this rule with the of this regular verb with this particular ser starring tener verb? Anybody can tell me?
No, sir.
No. So then what is it then? So
So
these
in the
three
first
verbs,
person, it's different.
yeah, actually no, what happens? These three are not part of this regular verb category. Okay. These three are part of irregular verb category. Okay. So in Spanish, if you are learning or if you go through any book also, then these are the varieties of verbs which exist in Spanish. So one is regular verb. Okay. Why do we call them regular? I have explained it. Then another is irregular verb. Okay. So these are the three irregular verbs. And then other verbs are also there. I will tell you later. Okay. Not now. So not want to get you confused. But why do we call them irregular? So one of the basic reason is that these ser, tener, and estar are not following any of these types of conjugations. They have their own conjugation, all these three. So that is the quality of an irregular verb, that irregular verbs do not have any regular pattern. They do not follow a particular rule. I mean, a particular set of rule cannot be applied to a given irregular verb. Okay, so if you see here the ser verb conjugation, it starts with soy. Okay, then it is eres. So you can see how things are changing. It was ending starting with s. First form is s, first word, first form, but here it is y is coming. Then it is eres, again very different. Then third one is s, and again here something completely different. If you compare it with er, this particular word. Then you have sois, and then you have sown. So you can see all the six forms were very different, very not completely different from the er ending verb. So this is one reason, okay, for ser. Same thing is happening with tener also. If you remember, you can just try to again think and see yourself. Okay, so it starts with tengo. Okay, similarly, a star verb with a star verb also things are again different. Not being an AR ending verb, a star is not completely following this AR conjugation. So when do we put any particular verb in the irregular verb category? When that particular verb or means if any one form is not following the particular this pattern, it will be put in the irregular verb group. Okay. So estar first form was estoy. Okay. Second form is estas. Third form is esta. Okay. Then you have estamos, estáis, and están. Okay. So here if you see first form is completely different. Other five forms are, you can say they are similar but not completely similar to this one. So what is the change here? If you see in all the other five forms, in these four, okay, I'm using an accent on A. But here we are not using accent in all the four, only with the vosotros form, we are using accent on A. But other places we are not using. So again, so that similarity is not there. So that is why we put a star in the irregular verb category. Okay, so this is what happens. There are some other irregular verbs also, which we will see later. Okay, so no need to worry about that part right now. The important part here is the regular verb, which I have already explained. You are asked to use these regular verbs. You can simply identify that particular verb is which type of verb. Is it AR or is it ER or is it IR? If you identify that, okay, then you can simply apply the given rule. Okay, the one which I have shown you. So now from here, I'm giving this exercise, which you can do right now, and it will be much more clear. Okay, whatever confusion, little bit of confusion you may be having, that will be clear after doing that exercise. Let me just put it
So
here. Yeah. Tell me.
So one of my friend got out because of bad network conditions, sir. So please let him in. He messaged also.
No, but I have not logged the meeting. No, ask.
So no, there's
Okay,
some
sir.
sort of glitch where you can't really see the meeting in the general page. You have to go to events and then join.
So ask him to go through the calendar. Okay, ask him to go through the. I think he is Manan. No, I have not logged the meeting. You can still join.
Sir, I'm Sir Vinith is out of the meeting.
You can all join if you are out of the meeting still. So here is an exercise for all of you. You can do it now. Let me share it. Is it visible to all of you clearly, or should I put it again?
Sir, it's
Somebody
visible.
visible, no? Okay.
Yes.
Good. I can try it again. Just a second. This is much better. So in this exercise, it's very simple. Okay. The first thing I would like to tell you, whatever is written on the left hand side after fill in the blanks, even if you do not understand the complete meaning of that part, it's not a problem for now. Okay. Why I'm saying this, you have to conjugate the verbs which are given on the left hand side. Okay. So those verbs are written in its original form. So how do you conjugate the verb? According to the subject. So if you can identify the subjects, whether it is first person singular, second person singular, or third person singular, you can easily do the conjugation. Okay, so do that. So 1 to 17 I have shown you. All of you can do it fast. Okay, no need to write down the whole sentence right now. You can just write down the answers in your notebook. I will anyway share the exercise on the course page. Okay, so for now you just write down the answers. I mean, write down the conjugation of the verbs which are there. And the words which are difficult, while discussing the answer, I will let you know. So start doing, all of you.
Sir, could you tell once more what exactly we have to do? Sir, I got removed from the meeting.
You have to fill in the blanks, okay, with the correct form of the verb, which is given here in the left hand side. The subjects are here, okay. According to the subject, conjugate these verbs and fill in the blanks. That's it. So only write down the answers. That will be enough. So
Okay.
I'm just to help you all. I'm writing those endings of the verbs again, so that if you have missed it for any reason, you can still consult it. So if it is an AR ending verb, the endings are O, as, a, amos, eyes, and an. Okay, this is the first ending. Then it is O, S, A, amos, ace, and N. Then the third one, O, S, A, emos, is, and A. Okay, so these are the endings. So just to help you at least one I should do it, okay, so that you can get an idea. So it is nosotros. The verb is tomar, which means to take. El autobús. So you have to conjugate the verb tomar according to the subject, to nosotros. The nosotros is first person plural. So first person plural for an AR ending verb, how do we do? You remove the AR and this is what you add. So my answer will be tomamos. Nosotros tomamos el autobús. We take the bus. Okay, autobus is in Spanish. In English, it is just bus. Don't make it autobus. No. Similarly, second, third, fourth, all these are you have to do, identify the subjects and then do this.
Sir, how to pronounce the fifth verb?
Which verb? I couldn't listen you.
Sir, how to pronounce the fifth verb? Like ye,
Fifth.
it's
Okay,
yeager.
this is llegar. Your
Yeager.
point sound can be there.
Okay,
Llegar.
sir.
Again, this varies. If you go to the other different Spanish speaking country, they will pronounce it as j. Sometimes it is pronounced double L, lea. Okay, but it is the one which I told you. You can follow it. Ye is the fine. It is not a problem.
Also, sir, in the 10th one, it's confusing, sir. 10th one, like uh, the word will be lay.
So layer is the verb. Layer, that is how you pronounce it. So this is an ER ending verb. So according to the subject, you can think what will be the conjugation. Follow the ER conjugation.
Sir.
So there is one more thing I would like to tell you all right now since you all are present here. I will be most probably this week, I will start assigning you topics on Duolingo. Okay, so I hope most of you have joined. Still you have not joined, check the chat, okay, on MS Team of our group. I have given you all the instructions how to do that. And the topics which I will give you, there will be around 15 topics. Okay, and those 15 topics will have a common deadline. Okay, and that deadline I will give, means that date for submission will be not before CAT 2, but after CAT 2 I want to give. So maybe in the third week of April, I will keep it till that time. But my suggestion would be, if you really want to do good in your CAT exams, in your CAT 2, then you should do all those topics before your second CAT 2. Okay. Why I'm saying this is because that will help you. Okay, that will help you in your preparation for the CAT also. So that is one way where you can have like two things done. One is the revision for your cat and another completion of your assignment also. Okay, so you have to complete all the topics before the given deadline. So anybody, like for example, anybody is doing 13 out of 15 topics assigned to you on the given deadline, then your marks will be deducted from your final D marks accordingly. So two topics, if you distribute, divide it into 10, so then around like 1.5 marks will be deducted. So you will get 8.5 out of 10. So as I can see, around 54 students have joined. 10 to 11 students are left. So my suggestion would be to please join as soon as, because if you are joining after giving the topics, okay, after assigning you the topics, then you will not be able to get those assignments. Okay, you will not be able to see those topics under assignment if you're joining after that assignment part. If anybody or if you are done with this exercise, then please let me know. We can start the discussion of the topics.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we can start in a pair, like group of three, like three questions each student can tell me. So first one, we did it already, okay, with nosotros tomamos el autobús. The second one, so let me start it. So yeah, Manan, can you try
Yes,
number
sir.
2, 3, and 4?
Todos los estudiantes parten, parten de la escuela a las 3. Todos los
Okay.
estudiantes parten de la escuela a las 3.
A las tres. Any idea what is the meaning of this sentence?
Sir, la escuela means school.
Yeah.
The student.
Todos los estudiantes is like all the students.
Split into 3.
No, not split into 3. All the students is split. Basically, split is like not splitting it into separate parts. Splitting means the school gets over, so they all basically leave the school. That is what the message is coming out. But in Spanish, we are using the word partir, which is to split. So all the students split from the school, de la escuela, okay, from the school. A las tres is the time. So what time it is?
A las 3, sir, 3 o'clock.
At 3 o'clock, exactly. There is no AM PM mentioned, so you just say at 3 o'clock. That's it. Okay, number 3.
Yes.
Quite easy.
Ustedes esperan para el autobús delante de la escuela.
Exactly. So here, ustedes is you all formal. Okay, that is how you say. Don't say they. And delante de also we have done in the last class. So can you try this one also? The meaning.
The sir, we are you are waiting for the
Don't go to
bus.
into listen. Don't go into the continuous form. We have not come to that. We have done only simple present tense. So say it in that. So you all wait.
You
Okay.
all
You
waiting for the for the bus behind the school.
delante is not behind, ahead of the school or in front.
Yes, yes, sir. Sorry, sir. Ahead of the
Huh?
school. Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. No
Sir.
problem.
Fourth
Oh,
one, vosotros corréis cada día por la mañana.
any idea?
This one, sir, no idea.
You can try at least till here. No, vosotros corréis, you all run. Okay.
Okay.
Cada
You also,
día, yeah. Cada día, I have told it is every day.
you all run every day.
Por la
Oh,
mañana,
and,
in the
sir,
morning.
in the morning. Okay. Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes. In the morning.
Yeah. So everything is related in language. Okay. So do not forget what I have taught you in the last class or what I have taught you before Cat 1 also. Everything is going to be used from now onwards. So just keep those things in mind. Okay. I
Yes,
will
sir.
anyway remind you, but then after that also keep that in mind. Okay. Thank you. Let
Yes.
me come to the next three, 5, 6, and 7. Vineet, can you tell me 5, 6, and 7?
Yes, sir. So, el autobús
Hmm?
llega al cine a las 3:30.
So how do you say this? What do you mean by this sentence?
Uh,
Any idea?
the bus reaches at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't know that
Three?
cine part.
No problem. But it is 3 o'clock. 3:30.
Yes, sir, tres.
Media is we are using
Okay,
in
okay.
time
Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. 30
at
minutes
3:30.
before.
At, not 30 minutes. At 3:30.
Yes, sir.
At 3:30. And al cine, basically it is a and then el cine. So cine is your the cinema hall, movie theater, and
Oh,
this al is like del, where a preposition and el article are coming together. So we join it together and make it al, then cine. So the bus reaches the cinema. Okay, in English you do not say the bus reaches to the cinema. Okay, that part is avoided, but in Spanish you have to use the preposition a. So reaches to the cinema at 3:30. That's it. Okay. Number 6, try it.
los estudiantes asisten
Mhm.
todas las clases cada semana.
Okay, and the meaning?
The students attend today.
Not
Uh,
today. Todos is all.
okay,
All.
all all classes.
Uh-huh. Cada semana. Cada día is every day. It is the next stage after day. What do you say?
Every week.
Exactly, every week. Okay. Number 7, vosotros, and then the verb is comprar.
Vosotros compráis los billetes para la clase.
Okay. So billetes are tickets.
Yes.
Okay, tickets. Para la clase. So para is again here for. Okay. La clase is the class. So you all buy tickets for the class.
Class.
Okay. Thank you. Let me come to the next three, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so this is the last set which we will discuss. Shreya, can you tell me?
Yes, sir. Sir, eighth one will be tu hablas español.
Hablas, no? H will be silent, so it will be hablas.
Oh, sorry, sir.
So, tu hablas
Uh,
español, and the meaning will be
you speak English? You speak Spanish.
yes. Number 9,
Sir, yo
hmm,
um miro
mm-hmm.
la película.
Película. So meaning película, you remember anything? Película is movie.
I watched the
Yeah,
movie.
I watched the movie. Very good. And number 10,
Uh, todo el mundo.
mm-hmm.
l- So how to pronounce this word?
Le. Okay,
L-
le.
Le.
Okay,
So
E is
the
pronounced as A, so it will be le. So todo el mundo.
le, then the E will come like
So
at
that is
the
what
end.
has come now. So you
Hmm.
have this ER ending. So after
Hmm.
removing that ER, we have again added E.
E. Yes, sir.
Todo el mundo lee los. What is it?
Subtitulos.
in Spanish? That is English. Subtítulos.
Subtítulos. Okay. Sir.
Okay. What does it mean? I hope you can tell me.
All
So
the
todo is all,
all
but you do not use all the word. What do you see the exact word in that type of phrases? Do you say all world or do you say the whole world?
whole world.
So the
Whole
whole world.
to read.
Mhm.
Whole world reads
Huh?
um, the the
You read in a movie at the bottom. Even the word is quite closer to that word.
documentary.
Oh, what does come at the bottom of a movie in English or if you watch in some foreign language?
Subtitles.
Subtitles.
Hmm.
Okay, so that is what it is. Okay, so the rest 7 we will do in the next class. Discuss it in the next class. So let me share the form. So I hope all of you are getting this. So this is how we do it. Okay, the uses of regular verbs. Yeah, I've shared the form. All of you fill it up. Okay, and any questions you can ask me. Otherwise, I will also finish it.